It's the lawsuit that sparked a citywide debate. One woman's claim that she was kicked out of a cafe for breastfeeding.
She made it clear, I want you to leave now.
Now she's suing. So what do you think? Breastfeeding, public or private?
It's up to the woman if she wants to breastfeed in public or not.
I breastfed my first child, but I did try and cover up.
Tonight, New Yorkers are fired up over nursing babies in public.
And the debate over public breastfeeding is what's happening at 10:30. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Derry Alexander.
I'm Ernie Anastas. Tonight,
but we begin tonight with that local mom who is suing a Westside cafe. She says that the place kicked her out for nursing her baby.
And that suit's just been filed, but Fox 5's Andrea Day spoke to the woman last year after it happened. Take a look.
The way she made me feel like I was doing something wrong, something dirty.
It all happened at Lily O'Brien's, a cafe known for its coffee and chocolate treats.
We were sitting in the back of the cafe, and we were having, croissants and coffees. And my friend Natasha was nursing her daughter, and then she finished. So then I nursed my daughter.
And that's when the trouble started. She says the general manager walked over along with a male customer.
She leaned over towards me and said, can you stop doing that? And I said, doing what? And she said, that.
Julia says she pointed right to her breast. She says she couldn't believe what she was hearing and kept nursing her daughter until the manager came back.
She said, you know what, ma'am? I really want you out of my establishment. She says, better yet, don't come back here again.
But her whole attitude was, this is my place and you can't do that here.
Julia says they grabbed their strollers and walked out, not wanting to cause a scene in front of her older daughter. But Lily O'Brien's left her with a very bitter taste.
She treated me like I was a homeless person. That's how bad it was.
Okay, now what does the law say? 44 states, including New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, allow women to breastfeed in any public location. And there is no language that opens that law to interpretation.
All right, so the law seems dry and cut, but there is a question, or is there one, about discretion here, or should there be? Joining us now is Countess Luann de Lesseps, who stars on the Bravo TV Real Housewives of New York City. She is also the author of the etiquette book, Class with the Countess, How to Live with Elegance and Flair, and also Helen McCullough, area coordinator for the La Leche League New York East, a breastfeeding advocacy group. Thank you both for being with us.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's start with these scenarios. Let's say you're in a restaurant and you just got dinner. There are lots of people around, and your baby is hungry and it wants to eat. Or you're in a supermarket and you're online and your cart is full and your baby is crying and it wants to eat. In both scenarios, do you think it's okay, Helen, to stay exactly where you are and to breastfeed your child in open view, not covered up in any way? What do you think a mom should be able to do?
Well, in both those cases, they're obviously dressed. When the baby is fussing, what's more stressful for the mother? A screaming baby or a quiet baby? What's more stressful for the other guests in the area, either the restaurant or the supermarket? A screaming baby, frustrated mother, or a quiet baby and a nursing baby? Here's where, as New Yorkers, we can really be fabulous, supportive, breastfeeding, supportive families. That mother goes, reaches, discreetly picks up her shirt, puts the baby on the breast, takes a breath, might pick up her fork, continue eating in the restaurant, or for that matter in the supermarket, takes a breath, looks quietly at the cashier and says, I'm going to have to do this one-armed, and take her things out of her cart. Now, does the person standing behind her say, let me help you with that?
And it's okay in full view, Helen?
Well, the shirt is covering most of the breast. The baby's covering most of the other part of the breast. What is full view?
Okay, Countess, respond to that, please. What do you think?
Well, I'm a mother. I have 2 children. I have breastfed my children. I totally advocate breastfeeding. But I think you have to be discreet. I think that you have to consider other people who are around you. And I think if you can find a quiet place to breastfeed your child, I think that's the way to go, and to try and cover yourself up, to be considerate to other people.
Okay, Helen, so you just saw the story about the woman who says that she was actually asked to leave the restaurant. This is what she's saying, because other customers started complaining when she breastfed in full view at the table. Even though the mother has the legal right to breastfeed her baby at a table in public, we know. What about the customer at the next table who is uncomfortable? Should their feelings be taken into consideration?
For the most part, Most women who are nursing babies at a restaurant table are not flashing. They are trying to be as discreet as possible. There might be a little uncomfortableness trying to move back from this table, trying to get the baby positioned. But once the baby's on, quietly nursing, there's no real indication that something strange is going on. It might look like this woman has a bulk in her lap. It could be a large purse. It could be a large napkin. Therefore, anybody who's watching her is going to be calmed by the fact that the baby is not now screaming.
And naturally, that's an assumption that they're going to be calm. We don't really know how an individual is going to react. Countess, let's get your take on that situation. Clearly, there are no winners or losers in this situation. The law is on the mother's side.
Absolutely,
but what about the other patron in the restaurant?
Well, I think, again, you have to go back to being considerate. I think if people are uncomfortable around you, I think you kind of get that, and maybe it's up to the maitre d' to say, if you don't mind, it would make us more comfortable, and I'll provide you a place that's quiet. I think it's a time where you want to be one-on-one with your child, and it's not always comfortable for other people. I have a 13-year-old son who gets quite upset. So I think that it depends on who you're with. If you're with your family, if there's a lot of other people around, and obviously if you're going to feed at the table, to try and be as discreet as possible. And why not, find a quiet place and share that quiet moment with your baby and get away from the table. I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Countess and Helen, we certainly appreciate you all coming in to talk to us about this issue. Certainly some spirited opinions.